Yeah. Let me put a little something on it. What up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Yo, check this out. It's your host with the most like butter on your breakfast toast. It is, well, good afternoon. For everybody on the West Coast, for any of my West Coast people, good afternoon. I mean, good morning. For my East Coast people, good afternoon. Listen, I got something really dope planned out for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm really structuring this my podcast in a way where I can divulge and give you guys a lot more information and make it a little bit more entertaining and talk about some things that I think will help and change your situation. I am Dwight Scrap Reynolds. Hopefully you already know that. I really shouldn't have to introduce myself, but I am the show, as you can see behind me on the t-shirt that's hanging up. I also have t-shirts for y'all. If y'all want one of those t-shirts, let me know. I like that, the Green Eye Bandit. I'm with you. That's what they call me, the Green Eye Bandit. It is Monday, March 6th. It is 72 degrees and sunny here in Atlanta, Georgia. So if it says 72 degrees, that means it's really going to be like 75 to 80 degrees because they can't get the weather right out here. You know what I'm saying? But I welcome y'all to my podcast. This is a Bite to Eat podcast, where, I talk about some things that for some people may be hard to swallow, and for other people, I appreciate this badge, Amanda, I appreciate that. I mean, the cap, you know what I'm saying? But check this out. Today we starting off a show with a section that we call What Do You Meme? What do you meme? What up, Enough? What do you meme? I'm gonna scroll through. So this is what I'm gonna do, and I want y'all to tag me in the future as well. Tag me on some memes y'all think are insightful, creative, funny, or whatever, and we'll go over and we'll kind of talk about them a little bit. Like in today's news, check this out. A 31-year-old Colorado woman who admits to having sex with a 13-year-old middle schooler and having his baby won't face any jail time under her plea deal. Do y'all hear me? This 31-year-old lady had sex with a 13-year-old boy and is having his baby. What up, Mama? And will not go to jail. Now, we talk about double standards and stuff all the time, but we always talk about it in favor of the man. Like the man could do this, the man could do that. A 31-year-old woman, Colorado woman, has sex with a 13-year-old boy and is now having his baby, or had his baby, not is having, had his baby. Now, how crazy is that? Like literally, how crazy is that? A 31-year-old woman, she looks Hispanic. What up, Tashi? Good morning. Amanda said that's infuriating. Yeah, listen, it's every boy's dream to have. Let me start by saying, look, every little boy want to be in his shoes, but in terms of the woman taking advantage of him, I don't think that's right. I agree with y'all. I just don't agree with the fact that that double standard is hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, if I'm being, every older guy is saying, yo, if I was 13 and I was a fine teacher or a fine older lady who wanted to kick it with me, you would want that. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you, I was 17 and the young lady was 25. You know what I'm saying? Not that it's the same, because 31 and 13 is crazy. What up, Wiggy? So a 31-year-old Colorado woman who admits to having sex with a 13-year-old middle schooler and having his baby. Like at 13, this kid is a father, yo. Do y'all understand how crazy that is? That, you know what I'm saying, when he's 30, the roles are going to be reversed. The same thing. You know what I'm saying? What up, JD? The roles are going to be reversed. You know what I'm saying? 31-year-old Colorado woman who admits to she admitted she had sex with this 13-year-old boy, and had his baby. And now they're trying to fight for the 13-year-old to get custody. Come on, man. That's crazy, right? You know what I mean? Imagine, it's just it's a crazy world we live in where she's not gonna be admonished for it either. She's not going to jail. She's not doing any of that kind of stuff. That is our first what do you meme? Moving on from that, listen, here's something for y'all to think about. Sex is better when. Now I want y'all on my live, I want y'all to type in your statement. I'm gonna start it off. It says sex is better when what? Y'all type in. I got a couple of different ones, but I want to hear y'all take on it. Sex is better when what? Sex is better when what? This is our second what do you meme? This is the section of our show where we talk about some of the memes that have come across my my phone. So somebody says when you have a connection, sex is better when you have a connection. Amanda says sex is better when you're in love. What up, JD? We're going through, this is my section of the show called What Do You Meme? So I'll scroll through some of the memes on my page and on some of y'all pages even, and I'll look and I'll see some of the different things. So a connection or love for you. Sex is better when what, ladies? Marcus, what up on Instagram? What up, everybody on TikTok, Twitter? Letitia says on YouTube, sex is better when he snatches me up. What up, Power Radio Nation? I see you. Make sure you're broadcasting this out to your people as well. Sex is better when what? All right, I'll go through a couple of them real quick, and I'll let y'all fill in the blank, and y'all give me a thumbs up, or y'all let me know if y'all feel the same way. Sex is better when the focus is on pleasure and not performance. Do y'all agree? Sex is better when the focus is on pleasure and not the performance. Sex is better when you find the right one. I don't know if I agree with that one, Tuffy, but we can go with that because it's been the wrong one plenty of times, but it felt like the right situation. Tuffy said sex is better when it's the right one. I can't listen. It's been some wrong ones that have felt right in the mug. I'm just telling you. Sky in the building. What's up, homie? Sex is better when what? I'm throwing this out there to y'all. Listen, make sure y'all are hitting the like button. Make sure y'all are sharing the live. I appreciate all the gifts. Make sure you're subscribed. If you're not following me, follow me now. Make sure you get this out because I think this is interesting. So, sex is better when, number one, the focus is on the pleasure and not performance. Tuffy said, is only when you find the right one. I can tell you, Tuffy, there's not a soul in here who's had sex with the right one the first time. So it's going to be wrong plenty of times before it's right. And let me tell you, them wrong times, sometimes you wish it was right because it was so, it was a turn up. Number two, it is treated, hold on, let me see. Number two, it is treated as play and the priority is to have fun. How about that? Sex as fun. Do y'all agree? Sex is better when it is treated as play and the priority is to have fun. No, listen, so you got it wrong, Tuffy. You said then don't commit adultery. That's for married people. All people that are having sex are not married, Tuffy. You went to don't go to the extreme yet. Like we ain't gotten to the cold when people who are married have sex with other people. That's different. That's adultery. We're talking about sex is better when, and it has nothing to do with the status of the relationship. So, number one, the focus is on pleasure, not on performance. Number two, it is treated as play and the priority is to have fun. Number three, yeah, it absolutely has a fun element. Have any of y'all, I can tell you in my past, when I've had sex, there have been times where I've bust out laughing. Anybody else done that? I'm going to tell you what makes me laugh. I'm going to be honest, and this is going to be I'm sorry, this is just the funniest thing ever. And I know some of y'all going to be like a little self-conscious about this, but the funniest thing about sex is when you having sex and you banging and y'all having a real good time and the faces y'all make. Oh my God. The faces y'all make when having sex is hilarious. I mean, it's a good thing, but some of y'all make faces, not everybody. Some of y'all make faces that are the funniest sex faces I've seen in my life. And it's the hardest thing. I'm just saying, Yaya. Yaya on Instagram said, wow. It's hard to, you know what I'm saying, keep a straight face when you making all these faces and you into it. And I'm sorry. I had to do everything in my power not to crack up laughing because y'all had, I'd be like, yo, that face is hilarious. Okay. So the top three right now, The focus is on pleasure, not on performance. It is treated as play, and the priority is to have fun. Insecurities. Here's the third one. Best wishes to you. He says, when her soul leaves her body and comes back and she asks what just happened. That's hilarious, right? He's stupid. Insecurities are normalized and treated sensitively. So that's one of those things where, you know, how you feel about yourself and whatnot, some of the things that come into play, you know, we don't, like, honestly, like, if you felt insecure about about your faces, I wouldn't make that a known thing so that you felt self-conscious about it. Next thing you know, you making another face to stop from making the funny face. Like, I wouldn't do that. I totally understand and respect that. Number 4, expectations and pressure are removed. How long it lasts, who climaxes, in what order, how it happens, how many times, all that. Now, as you were growing up, do y'all remember this? The talk of the talk would be, oh man, she got up, she was walking funny. Like, fellas, I'm gonna tell y'all ladies how fellas used to brag about being intimate. As in our high school days, we used to talk about how you moved afterwards. Like, if you banged it out, oh, she walked crazy after I hit it and all that. And I didn't realize until I had that mature relationship. Remember, I told you I was 17 and the girl was like 25. She really sat me down and taught me how to please a woman. And I think that happens with all men. The maturity of how to please a woman comes from an older woman. I think most men will attest that it takes that. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? All we know is we got this urge and desire to get intimate and whatnot, and we have no idea what to do with this God-given gift that he's given us. But you ladies, you are the reason why it's even a thing. So we learn from y'all. Like, so if you're ever dating a younger man, y'all gotta have patience. Not even a younger man, just a new person in your life. You gotta have patience. You gotta show grace. You gotta teach them accordingly. You know what I'm saying? You can't assume that they know. You know what I mean? Because most men don't know until you tell them. Definitely not mind readers. This isn't what a woman wants. If it was, and we all had the ability to hear your thoughts, I'm sure as we're doing something, it doesn't just have to be intimacy, but as we're doing something, I'm sure you would impart on us what it is and what it takes to, get to that, to get you where you want to go. But the pressures of how long it should last and all that, honestly, sometimes sex doesn't have to last forever for it to be an amazing time with somebody. It just has to be amazing. It just has to have all those elements of thoughtfulness and care and, and selflessness. This is a time where you want to be giving to the other person and, and they will receive everything that you want them to have. But your heart and soul gotta be in it. You gotta give your 100% to it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta kind of lean into it to get what you want out of it. A lot of times we put pressure on ourselves to say, did she or did he reach that beautiful place? Did they have an orgasm? Did they make it to that home run? You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be the pressure in that all the time. It should be, everybody ain't gonna make it there all the time. Women, y'all already know that most times y'all don't make it there. And part of it, without playing the blame game, each of us needs to know ourselves so well and be able to communicate about ourselves so well that when we're with somebody else, that we could teach them what they need to know and how they need to learn it to help us out. You know what I'm saying? This is a part of the show, you guys, called What Does It Meme? So it's called What Does It Meme? And I'm having a conversation with y'all based off of a meme that said sex is better when, and it gave these reasons. So the next one, sex is better when, and I think everyone can agree with this, sex is better when all 5 senses are aroused and attended to. Now tell me, when is the last time you guys have went all out on the intimacy level? A lot of times we start just becoming animalistic about it, and we forget there are so many elements that make intimacy beautiful. Music. What up, Danielle? Music is one of the dopest elements to add to. Remember, y'all used to have a mixtape full of songs when you finna have sex? I can tell you, I know I had one. I had a playlist. I'm sorry. Jodeci was on my playlist. Fiendin', that you could just put Jodeci in and let it play for the most part after you got past the fast songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, they grouped the fast songs up and then all the other songs came together after that. Make sure y'all are sharing and liking and make sure y'all are subscribing and following on all these platforms. Make sure y'all do that for me, please, and thank you. We don't add music anymore. I'll tell you something that we absolutely need to do but get away from. is there's a sense of taste that is missing from most intimacy. Yaya said, yes, indeed. Danielle Ray says, slow jams. Indeed. So y'all got to get back to making y'all slow jam playlist. What songs are you going to set the mood with? Because sonically, that's a thing. And it'll become a thing for the person that you're with. When they hear certain songs come on, it's going to be trigger points. You could be in the car and let something play. What up, Honey Butters? And they will hear one of the songs from that playlist and they will get aroused. You know what I'm saying? Aya, we're talking about, we're in the section of the show called What Does It Meme? What does it mean? In the future, I'm going to have backdrops on there so y'all can see it on the screen so y'all know what section of the show that we're in. But this is called What Does It Meme? M-E-M-E. And this is from one of the memes that I got. I think this is amazing when it's called Sex is Better When ... And it said we're on number 5 right now of 10. It says all 5 senses are aroused and attended to. So we're talking about the things that people did and didn't do. That's when her Best Wishes said that's when her soul left. He did all 5. He did the smell with candles. Yep. Taste with strawberries. Boom. Music, soft touching. Listen, all 5 senses have to be aroused. You got to wear something sexy. Men, all the men on my live, let me tell y'all, Lululemon underwear. They're not only comfortable, but they fly for us. You know what I'm saying? Tommy John's, all fly, and women love seeing that and feeling them your drawers. You know what I'm saying? It's a plus. You know what I'm saying? So not only what they feel is what they see, touch, hear, all those things. If you can you need to manage all 5 elements, and you kind of need to do it. Now, every instance ain't gonna happen like that. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Every day we ain't going to the concert. I might just have to whip out my guitar and play y'all some music sometime. Some other times we're gonna have a full stage with dancers and all that. So think about So that's the equivalent of what I'm talking about. Some situations are gonna have a live band and everything with lights and all that stuff, and then sometimes it's just gonna be the guitar and the light behind me. So keep that in mind. Don't make it so it's a celebratory thing, like it's a one-off. Just make it, if you're good, it's something that you do. And it doesn't have to include all 5 elements, but at least represent 3 elements when getting intimate. Like you want her to taste something, she's definitely gonna feel something, and you want her to hear something. Those are regulars. Turn on the music, man. It's easy. Number 6, sex is better when passion and intensity are interwoven with laughing and silliness. Meaning, just be yourself. Just be yourself. Sex is better when you could just be yourself. Just, you know what I mean? We all goofy. In one way or another, we are all goofy individuals. If you're on my TikTok right now, I need y'all to run those likes up. Let's get it up to 2,000. If you guys are on my Instagram, you can share the live out to several people, man. They ain't got to come. I just would love for you just to invite them anyway. I know you caught that right there. Yeah, that's funny. If you're on my YouTube, you guys can invite people to the live as well. If you're on Facebook, you can invite people to share the live. I just want y'all to participate in the free social digital currency that y'all can spend. Y'all see I got my book, Social Digital Currency, right here. That's another conversation that I might include in this at one point. But yes, passion and intensity are interwoven with laughing and silliness. You guys should be prepared to just be yourselves. This is the most vulnerable you're ever gonna be. Do you know that? Butt naked with a person that endears you and loves you at such a level that in that transparent and vulnerable state, they embrace everything about you. They embrace your laughter, they embrace your passion, they embrace everything about you. And so you have to be just as comfortable with yourself when you get into that situation that you can feel it. Like, we're strong. You have to be strong in your transparency and in your vulnerability. You know what I'm saying? So think about that. Think about that. If you think about biblical times, Adam and Eve were butt naked and they were comfortable with each other and in that state. You know what I'm saying? So you need to have that. You know what I mean? That sex is better when that is something that is not hanging over you, but it's something that promotes and includes you. What up, Janet? Sex is better when you take turns being the giver and the receiver. Now, I could stop here on that word right there. I could just stop right here. Sex is better when you're taking turns being the giver and the receiver. How many times, listen to this, man, and I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. For you stingy people out there, For you stingy people, that's no bueno. Listen, stingy people.
You're gonna learn today.
Listen, you stingy people gonna learn this right now. Intimacy is super dope when it is not predicated so much on taking, but giving. You know what I mean? Listen, ladies, I know y'all have a hard time. Some of y'all have a hard time, the Southern route. Let's just say that. Some of you speaking into the mic, there are several conversations away people explain that. Y'all have problems there. Some men have problems taking the Southern route. Let me tell you, you have to be a giver and sometimes not even expect to receive. Receiving is a blessing. We know that with everything, but being a giver, and we talked about selflessness before, if you can't constantly always be the giver first, but you should be a giver. And typically those that give receive, you know what I mean? And as you give, but some people do, Honey Butters say, I don't have a problem with that. Thanks for the badge, honey. Some people do. Some people are so selfish when it comes to their intimacy that they will not be the giver and be cool. In my past, and of course y'all understand that being in the entertainment business, it's a different relationship that people have with you. You know what I'm saying? No, you give because you enjoy giving it. Like men give because we love what we see what it does for you. Like men love giving to the point where you receive and you lose your mind. That's all we want. We just want y'all to have an amazing time. Because we know that if we don't have an amazing time with you, y'all talk, y'all chatty, or y'all gonna stop messing with us. We don't want that. So we want to give because your reaction is everything to us. Your reaction and response to us giving to you is amazing, and it turns us on. In that, women who are givers to me are the dopest people ever on earth. I'm sorry, I can't run from that conversation. In my past, there have been women who were ridiculous givers. I had one girl who would only come over my house at 2 or 3 in the morning. She come by my apartment 2 or 3 in the morning, and all she wanted to do was give. And then she'd bail. And I didn't get it. I didn't understand. I didn't know how I was gifted this beautiful woman in my life. I don't know how I was so deserving. Y'all have no idea. When I saw that phone call or that text from this chick saying that she wanted to come through and I wouldn't be doing nothing, you know what I'm saying? I'd be chilling. I'd be like, at first I didn't get it. I promise you, at first I was confused because usually her giving would lead to a sharing, right? That's typically the routine. Giving leads to sharing. Well, it was crazy as I don't know what I'm trying to tell y'all. She would give, clean herself up, and bail. And I didn't understand at first. I was like, what in the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs was that? You know what I mean? What in the world did I just experience? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if I felt a little, I don't know if I felt like like she left money on the table type deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, thanks, I'm out. You know, I didn't know what to feel. And then she did it again. Savannah said she was using social digital currency. That's funny. Then she did it again. And I started realizing, I was like, yo, I was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to, what's up? Because I like the other part too. You know what I'm saying? I love this. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. The scholarship mode said it's crazy that one expects their partner to ask for what they know they need. Share, people. True story. True story. You don't want to ever have to ask for something that you know that the person enjoys. That's the crazy part. Some people will make you have to say, hey, can you do this? Would you scritch my head? Ladies, men love their heads scritched. Okay, let me just put that out there for you. We love getting our heads scritched. It's what we do. We absolutely love that. On the flip side of that, I want y'all to understand that you all inherently know what we like. So if y'all could just manage to do that without us having to have a whole conversation about it, I think that we would appreciate that a whole lot more. You know what I mean? And likewise, we're not mind readers either. So once we know what you like, I'm just saying, somebody made a phone call, and so it bugged out. So that's one of those things. And then I've been fortunate enough to have, people in my life like that were extreme givers and weren't so much on the receiving, didn't care if they received, but when they received, they appreciated that too. But number 7 was you take turns being the giver and the receiver. And number 8, you spend time exploring what you each like and how you like it. Now, boom, this should be a known thing, right? When it says sex is better when you spend time exploring what you each like and how you like it. This should be what everyone is required to do. It's almost like saying Google the person you're with. All right. Tashi said you do have to sometimes communicate your needs. It may take one time. You only want one thing. This is it right here. This is exactly what we just got through saying. You spend time exploring what you each like and how you like it. Talk to each other, man. Ladies, why do men have to hear this horror stories of the times that a guy went down on you horribly? A guy went down on you horribly. Why do we have to hear that conversation? Why is it not that you guys have redirected that person or shifted that person or told that person in clear detail, hey, I don't like when you do that? Like, because I'm the same way, though. I'll be honest with you. When a girl cannot do what she's attempting to do, I have been guilty of saying, just stop. I have been guilty of saying, just stop. No, get somebody else to do it. That's one of my favorite memes. Can I tell you that? Get somebody else to do it. What up, DJ Dub? What up, Pickle? Well, that's what I'm saying. You stop it when you don't like it. But if you really care about that person, you're going to educate them on it. You're going to teach them how to treat you. Now, that's a whole nother, I need to write that down. That's a whole nother conversation. The education of being in a relationship. I'm writing that one down because that's going to be huge. That's going to be a huge conversation. The education of relationship. The education. I say education. The educationing, that's it, in relationships. Not just during intimacy is educating required. It's required in all facets of life that you teach people what they don't know inherently about you. Nobody can know the things that really matter to you unless you communicate them. Nobody can really know what you want, what you need, and how you want it and how you need it without proper education. You got to talk to people. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not a talker, you got to figure it out. How did you get into the relationship without talking? Like, y'all got to communicate. Communicating is giving somebody enough respect to say that I know you're not a mind reader. I know that you are not, we weren't raised together. We don't have the same background. So I'm going to teach you the things that you need to know about me that will make us have an amazing time together. It's important that you do that. You explore each other and communicate it and remember it more so than anything. Sometimes we don't remember what we need to remember about a person. Like, there are things you should know about each other that become involuntary actions. You know what I mean? If a person doesn't like being tickled, there should never be a time where you start tickling this person when you know they don't like being tickled. You know what I mean? Tashi said on TikTok, she said it's unfair to just assume and treat people how you want to be treated and not how they want. That's a huge one because, they say treat people how you want to be treated. Well, everybody doesn't have those same trigger points that they get excited about that they want you to use or do. So you're absolutely right. Treat everyone as an individual and individually treat them that way. And then you'll win. It'll be better. And number 9, sex is better when there are open conversations about preferences, desires, fantasies, expectations, and boundaries. I mean, it is funny though, Sonny. I mean, it's funny and it's serious. So, you know what I'm saying? Think about this last one. I mean, not this last one, but this next one. Sex is better when there are open conversations about preferences, desires, fantasies, expectations, and boundaries. Now, I can tell you, we could spend a whole hour just talking about those because how many times men will tell you, ladies, men will tell you that they absolutely understand that sex changes things. There's a debate going on and nobody has ever won this debate because the debate revolves itself around people saying, can friends be intimate? And I'm on the fence. I'm not on the fence. I'm on the side of no. Friends cannot be intimate and remain friends because intimacy changes the type of friendship that you have. Now, do you have friends that you've had sex with? Absolutely. But those are people that you had sex with and you had you liked them and y'all was kicking it in the beginning, and then y'all just happen to not work out and y'all remain friends. You know what I'm saying? Not the other way around. I don't think that you could be friends for a long period of time and then go have sex and then think that it's gonna pop off. Devion, this is a part of the show called What Does It Meme? So I've gone through my Instagram, and I'm going to do this on a regular basis. Go through my Instagram, look up some of the memes that come across my feed, and we're going to talk about them. And this one was called Sex is Better When. And we're at number 9, and it says, sex is better when there are open conversations about preferences, desires, fantasies, expectations, and boundaries. How many of y'all talk about boundaries? I'm going to tell you as a man, I assume that you know my booty hole is off limits, all right? We ain't playing that game. I'm going to tell you, I was 17 when this Canadian woman took advantage of me. And let me tell you, although it was quite the experience, I don't see myself revisiting that place. Now, I tell you, the most amazing thing that ever happened to me, because I was 17, very impressionable, and I was like, ooh, okay. I was like, ooh, what's up, Deja? I was like, ooh, this ain't never happened, because she was already working something else out. She was already handling something beautifully. I was like, this is amazing. What am I? This is unbelievable. And then she took it to the next level, and I was like, what the? You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally was like, what the is going on? You know what I'm saying? And I had no idea, because I'm 17. You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all, I'm going to tell y'all right now, 17 was a clear year of discovery for me. I know y'all don't understand, but 17, my sexual discovery was on a whole nother level at 17. I had no idea. And I was a learned man by the time I was 18. Tashi says, I have not talked just about them, but when they surface, the convo happens when boundaries are crossed. Yeah, and sometimes, a little something extra indeed. Sassy said, hello, glad I'm able to catch you. Yeah, I'm on, Sassy. Let me tell you, the challenge, here's the thing, and I like Tashi's comment. Tashi said, I have not talked just about them, but when they surface, the convo happens when boundaries are crossed. We don't talk about the boundaries in advance. Like, we don't say a whole lot about what we don't want to have happen. You know what I'm saying? We only talk about it when it happens. We're not very proactive when it comes to the conversation about boundaries during intimacy. You have to know, honestly, you guys should be having the conversation where you're just talking for a while. You know what I mean? Like I had a conversation with a girl before we were ever intimate. We used to talk on the phone for like hours at a time. 4 hours at a time we'd be on the phone, and we had the conversation, and we talked about everything. Deja said on Instagram, she said, 19 was the magical number. 19 like Kate Johnson on a Jets jersey. You stupid. We don't talk enough about the things that matter to us. We never talk about what we don't want in conjunction to intimacy. We'll talk about what we don't want with everything else, but we never talk about what we don't want when it comes to that. Yep, the only thing that people talk about off rip is, I don't want to be pregnant. Well, what about everything else that goes into it? What up, Trail? What else is it that matters to you when you're being intimate, when you're in that situation? What else is it that we need to talk about? Well, we need to talk about, condom on, condom off. You know what I mean? That's a point of conversation where there's boundaries. Like fantasies. Do you want your toes sucked? Do you like this? Do you like that? You know what I'm saying? Do you like playing dress up? Do you like, what do you like role playing? Our belts and whips and things like that off the table. Do you like being tied up? All these things, desires. What do you want? Do you want to bust a bunch of times? Do you want, like, these are conversations y'all need to have. Like, are you a squirter? I mean, just putting it out there. Questions like that. Is your booty hole in or out of place? I'm just saying, these are things that you should be talking about. You know what I mean? Your fantasies, expectations, and boundaries. What do you expect after this? Do you expect us to act like we're boyfriend and girlfriend after this? What do you expect? You know what I'm saying? Are we holding hands when we're around each other? Are we showing PDA? What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? What are the expectations? You know what I'm saying? DJ Dub said, did she use any red hot? You know they put that issue on everything. You stupid. No, not at all. And I'm glad for that. And lastly, y'all, the last one, sex is better when it is not treated as an expectation nor as a chore. Boom. That is a mic drop. Even though you're in a relationship, even though you're married, even though your status is you're together with somebody, you should never be treated like you owe somebody intimacy or that it's their job to do that. That's the worst sex ever in life. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. Y'all ever seen The Color Purple? Y'all seen Mr.? Y'all see how Mr. Y'all see how Mr. did Celie? Did you? You don't want that. Sex should never be a chore or an expectation. I'm going to tell y'all right now, throughout my life, have always been surprised, except for when that one girl called. I was surprised when I got the call. But I've never expected or felt like I knew I was going, be intimate. Sex has always been a surprise for me. It's a pleasant surprise most of the time, but it's always been a surprise. I never knew when it was going to happen. Shoot, I don't know to this day. Savannah said, I'm usually open to having fun, but afterwards I might want to talk. Girl, ain't nothing to talk about when I'm asleep. I'm just telling you, you can talk. I may not listen, but you can have it your way. No, I'm joking. Good sex should leave you tired and laid out. You should be like, oh, I'm straight. Just go get the towel. They said, Deja said, revenge sex is the best, though, according to popular surveys. I don't know, man. Yaya said that makes it fun when it's a surprise. Absolutely, because you have no expectations, you know what I'm saying? And it's built off of a natural vibe, like your body and your energy just pops off, you know what I'm saying? Tashi said she hungry and she need a nap afterwards. Shoo. Sassy said on YouTube, she said, I agree 100%. I'm just trying to tell y'all, you should never be felt like it's work. Sex, intimacy, loving on somebody should never, ever feel like work. Even though it may be work, it should never feel like work and it should never come off like work. It should always be a vibe. If you're on any of my platforms right now, hit the like button. On YouTube, you guys, I see you guys here, hit the like button. If you're on Facebook, hit the like button. Whatever you're on, hit the like button. Instagram, all those. I appreciate all the gifts you guys have been sharing so much and so far. But that ends our conversation on it. I'll tell you, men secretly crave this one thing more than anything else. You'll immediately notice him open his mind and heart to you in a way he's never experienced. Keep that in mind, y'all. It should come. Devion said, "Laugh out loud." Sorry, it should come naturally. And those are the best instances. You should never, honestly, you never want to be that predictable. Sex should never be on a schedule. All those things take away from a good love life and a good experience. But that was our section of the show today called "What Does It Meme?" What does it meme? If you guys have some memes that y'all think are worth discussing and having a platform about, make sure y'all, hit me in the DM with it or tag me in it or whatever and share it. Deja said, not gonna lie, when I found out the suburban chick liked me, I was shocked. Hey man, you never ever know. And it's a pleasant surprise, you know what I'm saying? Tashi said sometimes the all day or play with hubby makes the link up. Yeah. Send that cute little note. You know what I'm saying? Be sexy in all things that you do. Remember, if the person likes you, they think you're sexy. Listen, that's it. There is no discussion. If a person is communicating with you in a way, what up, Patrick? I see you. Make sure you hit the like button, Patrick, and the thumbs up or whatever it has on there. Listen, if a person likes you, they think you're sexy. Donald, what's happening? Hit the like button. Make sure they know that you like this live. If a person likes you, they think that you are sexy. Patrick said, I fully expect it. You fully expect what? Not intimacy. You should never expect it. It should be a surprise and you will take it to the next level. People, I'm trying to get y'all to understand that your job at work is not a surprise. But if they give you a promotion out of nowhere, that's a surprise, right? And you go crazy. You be like, oh man, I didn't even see this coming. That's right. Same thing with your intimacy. You should never. There's too many jokes for me to finish that statement. There are too many jokes for me to finish that statement. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Deja said, because in my mind I was like, I like you even more. That's right. That's a beautiful way for people to come together. So that ends our session of what does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? Ladies and gentlemen, I hope y'all enjoyed that section of it. But we got to come on to the next section of our show. The next section of our show is called A Bite to Eat. All right, we're back. Y'all see how I did like a little commercial and everything? So we're back. And some of the content that was in the conversation there is beneficial to where we're going with the conversation now. The conversation that we're having today is your contribution to your circumstances. Yes, Janet, there's more. For those of you who are just tuned in, you just missed an amazing, funny, and entertaining section of our show called What Does It Meme? That was really fun. I hope y'all enjoyed that section. I will start off every show with What Does It Meme? Every show will start off with What Does It Mean, which will be a collection of conversations about what's going on my feed on IG. I look at the memes from the conversations that people are having. These ones today, we talked about the 31-year-old who is having a baby by a 13-year-old and is not being prosecuted. And then we talked about the meme for sex is better when. And I think we're going to cultivate a lot of those. I appreciate that. Who's that? Telepo, I appreciate that. We're gonna go with the more of those kind of things like eating out is better when, or some different things like that. You know what I'm saying? Finding a girlfriend is better when, finding a boyfriend. We'll do some of those. But today's conversation is your contribution to your circumstances. What have you done to be in the position that you're in right now? Whether you think it's positive or negative, what is your contribution to your situation? It's interesting that most arguments and the conversations that people have, they always leave themselves out of it when it comes to their contribution to the negative experience. Everybody only wants to talk about their contribution when it comes to a positive experience that they're having. They want to say, oh, that was me, I did that, you know what I'm saying? That was da-da-da. But you never hear people jumping up and down to say, how did your relationship go bad? Oh, that was me, you know what I'm saying? I did all that, you know what I'm saying? It was me, it was what I had done, you know what I'm saying? That part is a part that we all have to examine, because if you examine your contribution to your negative circumstances just as much as you do your positive circumstances, you can break things down. Yep, I like that, Devion, where your accountability can adjust things. You accounting for yourself will allow you not to get into that same situation in a future relationship or a future experience that looks like that with someone else. You never want to carry, I know people talk about baggage. You never want to carry your baggage into another situation. You should resolve it, but you can't resolve it most times because you never admit your contribution to your circumstance. What did you do? Too many times, I be talking to people, like when I have those conversations with people in their relationships, the first thing I ask them is, well, what did you do? You know what I'm saying? What is your culpability in that situation? And nobody likes to talk about it. I'll be honest with you. Nobody wants to be honest. Nobody wants to talk about what they did. And I'm like, come on, man. You were in the relationship, right? You were a part of the relationship. You were in it. If you were in it, if you were in a relationship that failed or that was challenged or have issues, and you don't see where you contributed, you are tripping. You are a narcissist. You are someone who has absolved themselves, and I would dare say you were never in the relationship. What are we talking about? Why are you communicating to me about a relationship that you said that you contributed to, but not negatively? If it ended and it didn't end well, if it ended, then you probably had something to do with that. Too many times we remove ourselves from our involvement. I mean, I seriously have to ask people, well, were you in the relationship? Because you communicating with me right now makes it sound like you were outside of the relationship while the other person was in the relationship trying to make it work. And you want to ask me what could have went wrong or how you could have done something differently or what you can do differently. Hell, get in the relationship in a positive way. Relationships require compromise, but sometimes they actually require just dialing things back enough to see what's going on. So, if you're on my YouTube right now, it looks like they said the streaming has stopped because of an internet connection issue. We just know that this is almost never usually happens, but I never ever talk about how they treat me on YouTube. But anyway, Devion says, right, I know for me, I ignore the red flags and end up getting taken advantage of. It's not ignoring the red flag. Ignoring the red flags absolutely will always get you into a situation where you're not going to be happy with. You can't ignore the red flags. They're called red flags for a reason. Red flags, you say, why aren't they called blue flags or some other color? Because red always means stop. Red always means, panic, emergency. You know what I'm saying? It's a red flag. It's an emergency flag. It's not a caution flag. It could be yellow. That's a caution flag. It ain't a checker flag, which you mean it's the ending. You know what I'm saying? It's a red flag because it's saying stop in your tracks and look at this. This is not something that we subscribe to. So if it's a red flag and you don't subscribe to it, you have to stop and backtrack it, go a different way. Devion says, and I realize I should take more time of trying to get to know that person instead of moving so quick. No, you shouldn't. Your instincts are set up in such a way that when a red flag, now here's the thing, Devion, maybe some of the things that we consider red flags are really yellow flags or another color flag. See, we have changed the color of the flag when we decide to continue to deal with people we shouldn't be dealing with. Red flags become purple flags. Purple flags are the color of compassion and empathy. So maybe your red flag is now a purple flag, and it should remain a red flag. You know what I'm saying? There are certain people that deserve a purple flag, meaning if something is tripped out or going crazy, maybe we should examine it and give it empathy. Maybe we should give it some time. Maybe there's room for discovery to see what's going on. Maybe some of those flags should be yellow flags. Maybe it should be a proceed with caution, meaning you got your hand on the bailout button, you know what I'm saying? But you haven't jumped out completely yet because you're proceeding with caution. You're trying to see what this means. Letitia on YouTube says, my attitude has always been the damage. I have no problem admitting I have a screwed up attitude. Only my husband can deal with me. He is the first I have come across that is able to deal with me. Now, I'm going to say to you, Letitia, that should be something that you manage, because if you know that it is a point of contention, even for yourself to openly admit that, you should be working on doing the work that alleviates that, because you don't want to have, he shouldn't have to carry that too. Now imagine if he's already loving you and liking you and doing things in such a way that you enjoy it. Imagine how much more he's going to enjoy it when you release him from the responsibility of that attitude that is causing an added strain. Like I'm telling y'all now, ladies, if y'all find out that your husband is challenged by something, if your boyfriend is challenged by something, take the time to make the adjustment, to tweak it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Or cultivate in him the response that is needed for that situation to be better. Meaning, if your husband has a problem with you putting your feet on him or doing something like that or whatever, then find some kind of way to mitigate his response to it. You know, wear socks. I don't know. Don't put your feet on him, or massage his feet, or make him have a better or different understanding about the point of contention that he already has. You have to lift off of anyone that you're with the burden that you know that you present to a situation. How you're contributing to your circumstances can be a world of change in a positive manner should you face it head on. Don't run from the problem. Make sure I ain't got no boogers in me now. Don't run to the problem. Is that something I know? Don't get me all self-conscious. Is that a gray hair? Is that a blue hair? Don't get me on here. I'm not going to be tripping out. Y'all ain't going to have me bugging out. Listen, Treat your mate to a better experience of you as much as you possibly can. Treat the person you're with a better daily experience with you as much as you can. And if you find that some of the things that you do don't translate, change it. Now, here's the concern, and that you should the thing that I've noticed. Sometimes you'll start imparting on these people the adjustments that need to be made, and they're not willing to adjust. And we have a conversation coming up this week about stubbornness in relationships, stubbornness in life. We all should be like water in some degrees. There are times where you have to be like water in order to get to the breakthrough that you need to get to, because being solid as a rock, sometimes you cannot move as freely as you need to move. But being like water, you can get in those gaps in those areas and permeate the heart and soul and mind of that person that you need to have the adjustment. Sometimes you got to be like water to break down that rock that's in front of you. And sometimes you have to be like water to allow things to flow through you so that you can have the change and adjustments that you want. What is your contribution to the circumstances that you in? What is your contribution to the situation? What did you do? What did you do in the positive, or what didn't you do? Because both of these things matter. You have to do something. You have to be proactive. Those people who stand in the middle of the road and don't pick a side, you irritate the hell out of me, because you don't understand that you're benefiting one side or the other when you do that. There is no such thing as neutral. There are gray areas, but there is no such thing as neutral on a train that's moving. The train is going to move, and either you're going to be on one end riding in the caboose, or you're going to be on the other end pulling it. And Letitia says in her defense that if she didn't present the attitude, you know what I'm saying, she feels like the attitude is the reason why he snatches her up like that and goes ham on her. You know what I'm saying? Listen, he loves you, Letitia. He is going to love you down regardless of your attitude. He enjoys being intimate with you. You don't have to trigger a response or reaction out of him that way. Remember what we talked about in the Sex is Better When section. Sex is better when you explore the 5 senses. If you really want him to have this animalistic approach and take over your body and all that, play the music. Turn on the, play the music, dress up sexy, bring some strawberries, grapes, or whatever the fruit is that is sexy to y'all. Put on some kind of, put some oil over your body. There's so many different things you could do. Devion says, I've been single for 3 years and I've learned so much about myself. It requires us to step outside of ourselves, especially after being in relationships. You got to stop and say, what is my contribution to those past relationships? Were they positive or negative? And unfortunately, it's awkward. You don't get an opportunity to go back and talk to those people and say, hey man, what did you really like about me and what didn't you like about me? You know what I'm saying? You can't do that because it just comes off crazy. And the person's like, yo, I don't even want to talk to you no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? And some may be gracious enough to tell you, but you have to be the first explorer in your life. You got to be the first person digging in the crates of your historical existence, especially when it comes to entertaining other people. You got to be the one who decides. You got to be the one who looks to see. You have to be the one to unfold that, because when other people unfold that, they get resentment. And you can't be a coach and I might have to talk about that too. Coach and a player. I'm gonna put that in. That's gonna go in the education of a relationship. Coach and a player. Coach and player. It's difficult to be a coach and a player when the team resents the coach. She said, Devion said her ex was completely honest with her and she appreciated that. What did you do with all that beautiful honesty that he gave you? Did you make an adjustment? What up, Lyric? Did you make an adjustment? Did you change? Did you tweak it? Did you do something different that made him? What could have changed that would have made it so he wasn't an ex? If he was that honest with you, and he gave you the keys to the game for y'all to be together, I would love to know what did or didn't happen to make it so y'all was an ex. Was it too much honesty? Oh, the insecurity. Yeah. Insecurity is the cancer of relationships. Just so y'all know. Insecurity in relationships is very bad. It will lead you to do and say and behave in a way that is contradictory to a trusting relationship. You cannot be insecure in a relationship. You have to be like, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And I'm not saying don't be blind or whatever, but what I'm saying to you is, to be insecure in a relationship is to be in a non-trusting relationship. And to be in a relationship where you can't trust anybody, it's already a failed relationship. You will imagine things are happening that aren't. You will hear things that were never said. You will act in a manner that is contradictory to a loving relationship. Insecurity has dismantled over 75 to 80% of relationships. What up, RJ? Insecurity is the inability to trust yourself as well as trusting others. Insecurity is when you say, I haven't made the right decisions, so I have to go above and beyond to reassure myself. Y'all should write that down. Insecurity is when you say, I have not made the right decision, so I have to go above and beyond to manage it. That's what insecurity is. Insecurity is jumping in a car and then always testing the brakes after they got repaired, saying that I don't believe the brakes are fixed. So you do all these things to reassure yourself, when in fact they just add to your insecurity. And you're never going to get to a point where you're completely secure until you manage that whatever is going to happen is going to happen no matter what I do. Especially if it's something that is uncontrollable. If it's outside of you, what up, DDT? If it's outside of you, meaning I always talk about it from grown as adults. When I think about other adults, you can't control another adult. You can't do nothing about that. Like, that, it's another adult. Your insecurity is your insecurity. It's not their insecurity. What becomes problematic is when you present that insecurity. I'm gonna give y'all a key to relationships, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all a key to relationships. And I hope that y'all take this to heart and y'all use this and manage it accordingly. Don't talk about a problem that can't be fixed. That's a key to relationships right there. Don't bring up a problem that you can't fix. Meaning, if there's an issue with your relationship, you make the adjustments that you need to make, or you set up a position for them to make an adjustment to see if they're going to make it, but don't say it out loud until you're absolutely sure that you guys can make the adjustments and that the person is willing to. Because now, once that problem is pronounced and it's out in the universe, I promise you everything that can happen to exploit it even further will. You guys have to start deciding, like we talked about earlier, what color is the flag that you're about to stand on? Red flags are meant to stop you in your tracks. Yellow flags are cautionary flags that you should examine a situation a bit more. Purple flags are when you have decided that you're going to show empathy and compassion for a situation that you know is off. Green flags is what we all want in our relationships, which is go ahead, you're on the right track, keep it moving. And you want to operate from the color of these flags, but you got to trust your instincts, because your instincts is going to be the thing that determines what color the flag is. You know a song when you know you like a song the minute that you hear it, point blank, period. For those of you who need that extra long convincing, you need to recalibrate your intuition. You have your body, your mind, and everything has a quick switch. Y'all know immediately when y'all like somebody. Y'all know immediately when you don't like somebody. But yet you act and move and deal in such a way that doesn't complement that. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't promote that. So you have to you have to calibrate your system. You have to calibrate who you are in this business. You got to calibrate who you are and how you're going to operate. What up, Angie? Angie, we started the show. I need you to be here a little earlier because we're about to wrap up, but we had an amazing show today. Your contribution to your circumstances, what is it? And I'm only talking about relationships right now, but I could be talking about your job. Have you done everything that you needed to do to get the promotion that you're crying about? I could be talking about your faith. Is God not answering everything that you want answered because you're not being as faithful as you should be? Are you not reading and studying and examining and sharing as much as you should be the word of God? We could be talking about your physicality. Are you complaining about your size, your shape, the way you look, or any of that stuff, but you're not hitting the gym, you're not doing cardio, you're not doing different things? Come on, man. Your contribution to your circumstances is paramount. Your contribution to your circumstances is paramount, and no one is above reprieve. No one gets away with complaining. You ever heard that meme? There's a meme out there that I really, really like. It says, don't complain about the job you didn't get for the work you didn't do. Don't complain about the job you didn't get. Don't complain about the results you didn't get for the effort that you didn't put into it. We can be a lazy people to our own demise and still complain about it. Don't complain about the results you didn't get for the work you didn't put in. I'm just going to leave that right there. I think that's enough for today. Are y'all good? Did I give y'all what y'all needed today? Did I hook y'all up? Cuz we got many days of many things that we're going to talk about that I'm excited about. I hope y'all received something from today. Yeah, Angie. But you can watch it on the replays. Listen, if you missed my show, and I want to shout out JD for showing up. You know, Jermaine Dupri popped in. I don't know if y'all saw that. Jermaine Dupri popped in for a brief second and kicked in and listened. He's a friend, you know what I'm saying, and a mentor at the same time. With to not only to me but to so many other people. He's got a gang and a wealth of knowledge. And maybe I'll see if I can get him on the show. I'll see if I can get Tiffany on the show as well. I think I want to talk to Jermaine about, some of the keys to success, some of the conversation, what he might impart on, what would he impart on, the talent that's coming out, being so informative and from the life that he's lived. He's a wealth of knowledge, you know what I'm saying? It'd be interesting to pick his brain. So maybe I'll talk to him about keys to success. And, we have another show called How Bad Do You Want It coming up. The metric system is going to be a good one. And then I got a bunch of shows lined up that I'm excited about y'all checking out. You know what I'm saying? Like, today's show was great. If you missed today's show, you can go watch it on youtube.com/ICGREEN numerical 1. So IC Green 1. I tuned in just in time, bro. Met you on the Clubhouse. This was right on time for me. That's what's up, WJ. Pilot Vision. I appreciate that, man. That's kind of how I look at this, right? I look at, some of y'all join and that's cool at a good time. And then some of y'all come at the time that y'all come. But one of the things that I'm excited about is that you can watch this and listen, y'all can pull clips from it. Y'all can pull clips. That's funny. Amanda said my bacon was burning. I had to step away for a second. Y'all can pull clips on YouTube. You can clip some of this and share it to your audience or whatnot. And they can interact with some of it, and they'll actually go back and watch the whole thing if you pick the right clip out, which is really, really dope way of showing support and spending some social digital currency. Now, when I talk about social digital currency, I'm referring to the information in my book. It covers Twitter, Instagram, Clubhouse, YouTube, and Facebook, and TikTok in regards to how you can support and show your support and also leverage your time spent online. You can pick it up at yoursocialdigitalcurrency.com, the hardback copy. I will sign it for you. Or you could get the ebook at Amazon as well. And then Janet, who's on my TikTok, is also has my book on her site, on her Amazon account as well. So listen, yoursocialdigitalcurrency.com. If you don't have it, pick it up. There's a great way to leverage yourself online. It gives you a lot of information about what your value is online and how to use it in such a way that you grow your channel, your experience, and your time is not wasted. Make sure y'all tune in. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm trying to get up and be on here at 10 a.m., but today was a great time at 1 a.m. I'm gonna need y'all to turn on notifications. And I need y'all to do it on YouTube as well as TikTok and Instagram, but y'all turn on notifications. And what that will allow me to do is have the flexibility of joining you all at a time when the conversation is ripe and ready for me to communicate with y'all. Like, I want to do it at 10, and I'm going to tell you, I'm on fire at 10 in the morning as well. But I think I'm on fire whenever I get online and talk to y'all, because these conversations are necessary and they're mind shifting and they're fun. You know what I'm saying? The interest that I have on here is what would be nice, Donald, 10 o'clock, the earlier time. I just don't want to be subject to a certain time, because sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Like, sometimes you want to jump on, at a certain time, and then circumstances. So I need the flexibility of being able to move around and handle some things, because life is complicated and there's so much duality to it. And if you guys allow that to happen, then I can be extremely consistent with getting on. And even when I'm traveling and moving around, I can make sure that I am in attendance online for you guys. And I think that would be awesome. I think you guys would really appreciate me being able to be online when I'm traveling. I got a couple trips coming up and stuff, and I want to be consistent. Devion says 10 a.m. or 12 noon, people might want to listen to the lunch break as well. That's what's up. So, okay, I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at a lunchtime conversation. You know what I'm saying? People have more availability. Letitia said, yes, please stick with us. I definitely enjoy it. Letitia is probably, I'm going to tell y'all right now, Letitia and a couple other people, but Letitia more succinctly is somebody who really lit the fire for me to get back on and be more consistent and regular with you guys. I do read my DMs. I check my DMs when y'all DM me, and she sent me a few very heartfelt DMs about my presence online and was like, yo, you're missed. I look forward to, and all those kind of things just hit me. And I'm like, damn, let me get on my square. You know what I'm saying? Me being online has to be one of the most, you never know the impact that you're having on a person's life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to make sure that I'm responsible enough to be here for you guys as often as I can. I do appreciate everybody who comes and attends in your conversation. Y'all know this is a interactive conversation that we have. If you type, I communicate. Savannah said blind trust. That's what it is. So when you guys show up and show out and you like and you share, it's super duper awesome. When you guys cash app, when you guys gift, even more awesome, because it values my time in a different way. Devion said, we love you. You always keep it real. I appreciate that. That's all I know how to do. And that's all I'm trying to manage, is that just give y'all a perspective that's rooted in truth and honesty and how I feel. Now, I'm not ever saying I'm completely right. I'm just telling you what I feel. And usually that aligns itself with everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Donald said, I like mornings. That's what's up. Here's the cool thing. At any point in time that I do this, I'm recording it live to YouTube as we speak. YouTube for you all has to also be your resolve to go back and watch it. Like, you guys got to say, yo, I missed him today, but I know he has a backup on YouTube. I'm going to check it out. That would make life, what up, Strictly Business, make life easier. Donald said, I feel like your energy is more better in the afternoon as well. That's what's up. Oh, my guy, Jimmy, what's up? Clev Boogie in the house. It's always good to see my friends from Facebook joining. I'm not on Facebook often, but I do broadcast to Facebook, which has always invited a lot of my really close friends and family, so I enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? But today's conversation, man, I think we had a lot of fun in the beginning. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I am so excited about the what does it meme section of the show. I'm gonna make sure that we make that a thing. I always wanted to do that though. I told myself I was going to do some things that was, evolved around the memes that come across my feed every day, because they're interesting. Some are funny, some are very profound. And I want to share them with y'all and we can dissect them. And if you guys have memes that come across your Instagram or your TikToks that you think are worth a discussion, tag me in it. I'll go check it out and I'll either clip it or take the message and we'll have a conversation about it in our What Does It Mean section of the show. I think it's important that we talk about pop culture. We talk about some of the things that are going on around us because we are experiencing that. Some of us are right there in the heat and heart of things. I was going to have a conversation about all these train derailings, but I really got to dig in because there's something awry, and we know it, but we haven't put our finger on it. But when these things are happening so often and so frequently, you have to understand that somebody's pushing the button or pulling the trigger or creating an agenda around it. And it's our job as critical thinkers, as people who are intelligent and are not stupid, that we should look into these things and dive a bit deeper. I'm gonna tell you right now, I would go a bit further. Like if my lives were popping to the point where you guys gifted or cash apped enough to buy tickets, like plane tickets and maybe hotel rooms, I would travel to some of these places and go see what's going on. I take my camera, my microphone, and I go and I say, hey, how do you guys feel? Like, do you guys feel like this is a ploy, or do you guys feel like this was intentional? And talk to the people, because really that's what it takes for us to get to the truth, is to get to ground zero on a lot of these situations and talk to the people who are in these situations, living it daily, and have their own thoughts about what's going on. Too many times we're on the outside assuming. We got to start getting to the meat and potatoes of these conversations. On the health side, need to hit the hospitals and talk to some of these doctors and nurses and say, hey, what do you feel about this? And, I can blur your face out so you're not on camera, but if you're not afraid to speak about it, we'd love to know your take on what has happened over the last couple of years. How did you feel during this situation? How do you feel now, knowing that the information and the truth is coming out? We need those conversations. But again, we just got to cultivate it in a different way. So with that being said, man, we've been on this live for a good minute. I appreciate everybody coming, but you got to turn notifications on if y'all gonna be here in a time to really catch the meat and potatoes. I think that starting with what does it mean gives us an opportunity for you guys to trickle in, should you come late, and then get to the meat and potatoes of the conversation, because talking about your contribution to your circumstances, I know it has affected someone today. I know it has changed and curved your enthusiasm towards what your involvement is in your relationship. Learning what it is that you're contributing and what you should be taking from it is so important, that you understand your involvement in anyone's life, because it matters exponentially in the success or failure in it. It matters. It matters and we got a conversation coming up about that too. It's the quality of life conversation, because it says, I'm gonna tell you what it says right here. The conversation we're gonna have it says, it's gonna start with this. And I hate giving away shows in advance, but it says, where's it at? Your quality of life. Oh, it's on my other phone. But it says basically, your concern for your quality of life. There it is. Your concern for your quality of life should be greater than your fear of death. That's what's up. Letitia says, you have a way of teaching a lesson and making it funny at the same time. Much love. Thank you so much. I need y'all to own this. Listen, your concern for your quality of life should be greater than your fear of death. We may do that conversation tomorrow. Matter of fact, we are. Tomorrow I'm gonna post this on my Instagram and then share it to my other platforms. But your concern for your quality of life should be greater than your fear of death. I hope y'all, I left y'all with something dope. I hope this was a great bite to eat. I know some of it is hard to swallow, but the taste is always flavorful. I appreciate y'all showing up. This is not goodbye. This is to be continued. So to my Instagram folks, thanks for buying the badges and supporting the channel. I will see y'all later. Remember, Instagram, the live is not saved on Instagram. I am not promoting on Instagram whatsoever. You have to go to my YouTube channel to watch the replays. To my YouTube, Twitch, Facebook family, and YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, and I didn't do LinkedIn today. LinkedIn, they don't support me as much as they should. And I guess they're too busy being business-like. Anyway, for all of you guys on my YouTube, Facebook, and all that, I am out. This is not goodbye. This is to be continued. I appreciate y'all support. Replays and management of the clips is available if y'all go to www.youtube.com/ICGREEN numeric 1. I'm out.